Hello everyone, name's Jerry. This is Lessons from the Ocean. Today I want to talk about how your expectations can lead you to emotional turmoil, or that's a little bit dramatic, or just disappointment. When we go out on the water, we always expect, man, we're going to catch, especially new people when they go out on the water. They're expecting such a great catch, a great experience. We want to go out and catch that king salmon. We want to go out and catch that tuna, that 45-inch striped bass. Man, it's going to be a good day today. You go out, you get seasick. The waves are just smacking you in the face. Your radar dies. One battery dies. Now you got to jump start it. It's 4 o'clock and it's cold. It's raining. The rain's coming from you sideways. It's hitting your face, even if you put your hoodie on. You slip and you bust your ass on the deck. It's just not a good day. And you're emotionally distraught. You're emotionally distraught because your expectation was that you thought this was going to be a good day. I was going to catch fish and I was going to enjoy my time out in the water. And instead, you found the complete opposite. How many times in our lives do we expect something from someone and that person does not live up to the standards of which we expected? And that really, really disappointed you. And it just didn't disappoint you, it really bothered you quite a bit. In our church, we go through what's called a matching process. I just got matched to this girl, and she's just a huge disappointment. She's a huge disappointment because you set your expectation on someone who's still growing. So it's not that she's a disappointment, it's that you just have too high expectations. I found the job of my dreams. This job is going to lead me to the stars and guide me on the path of my destiny. And then you get laid off. And now you're back at your parents' house, crying and begging and complaining. Well, the reason why you're back at your parents' house in a negative attitude is because you expected too much. Now, am I saying, Jerry, don't have high expectations? Are you telling me to just have a bad attitude all the time? Absolutely not. Don't put words in my mouth. Having low expectations protects you from being disappointed. In fact, I would say don't have expectations at all. Don't expect someone to be such trash, disgusting human being, but don't expect someone to walk on water like Jesus. People are growing, and the reason why they're growing is because we start out in this world understanding the basics of humanity and the basics of what God gave us. And those basics are basically levels of heart. So that's going to be your heart of a child. So you start out as a child and you want to know, how does daddy do this? Mommy, how do you make this food? Mommy, please give me this. Mommy, please give me that. Maybe you see mommy working really hard and you want to help mommy. So you help mommy. You see dad changing oil and you hear him cussing at the car. So you say, do you want help? He tells you to grab the flashlight. And you help daddy. You want to help. And that's a part of growing. You're wanting to help, you see struggle, and so you become, you start to have the heart of a child. You begin to have a younger brother or a younger sister, and now you need to learn how to get along with that younger brother and sister. Now you need to know the basics of friendship. Basics of friendship consists of serving that person, understanding that person's personality, and how can you cater to that person, but also how can you help this person behave towards you at the same time. There's a lot of details in that, but it's just the basics. It's just the basics. And then we go into conjugal heart. Loving someone that pulled your heartstrings. Again, we have the matching process, and we set up dates for the couple, but it's a very appropriate disciplined date where those two can learn to know each other, learn each other's personalities, but on a deep level that includes very high emotions and very sensitive heart, because this is someone you want to spend the rest of your life with and have a physical relationship with. And so you start to have that. And then finally you reach the final heart stage, which is parents. I think, anyway, parent heart. You start to have children and you want your children to be better than you. The point is, we are growing every single day, whether you like it or not. Even if you're sitting on the couch just playing video games, glued to your phone, you are growing. And you don't grow this way, and you don't grow this way, and you don't grow this way. Actually, you don't even grow this way. A lot of times in our life, we'll grow up, and then we'll go down, and then we'll go like this, and then we'll just go straight down. And then we'll kind of go up, and then we'll shoot up, and then we'll go back down again. Why? Because life is full of circumstances that we don't see coming. And if you focus so much on high expectations, you're going to be living a miserable life. Why? Because you are focused on what can make me happy, what can bring me satisfaction. You understand that happiness is an emotion, and emotions are circulating every single day because we find ourselves in different circumstances. You can't rely on an emotion that moves back and forth, up and down. That is a miserable way to live. What God tells us to do is to live a life of joy. That's not an emotion. Maybe you need help understanding it. A lot of times in our lives, we'll be finding ourselves in a state of sadness, in a state of chaos, and I'm stressed right now. But you understand that you're in a joyous occasion in life. You understand you're in a joyous relationship with your wife. You and your wife are fighting right now, and I'm in a joyous occasion with my wife. I get to fight with this person, and she understand, and maybe she doesn't understand what I'm saying, but I can help her understand what I'm trying to tell her. Or maybe that's a very complicated situation that I think is for another video. But for something basic like you broke the dishes and your wife yells at you, now you go back to your room thinking, man, I just messed up. You and your wife understand that you're both in a joyous occasion. Your wife will say, maybe I raised my voice too high. And you will say, as a guy, I'm an idiot. I should never, ever touch a dish ever again. That's for the woman, or I've seen men that can cook, man. They can cook real good. Anyway, the point is, don't expect, recognize. You need to live a life that's a life of recognition, not a life of expectation. You start to expect too much, and you will not find any growth in your life. And then there are those anomalies where your daddy gives you everything, and you are happy because money brings you happiness. But where has that gotten? Celebrities, how many stories have you heard of them, in a miserable occasion, and you hear it on the news, whatever. So try to shift your focus on something that you can recognize in a joyful manner, and maybe that'll calm the waters around you. When you go out on the ocean, you will maybe instead of expecting a big fish, maybe you can recognize the beauty in something like a small pollock, or the tastiness of a tiny mackerel on a grill. See if that don't calm the waters around your life. All right. Well, be safe and live a life that is a life of recognition. Recognize the hardships that maybe your loved ones are going through, and give them a little bit of love. And recognize that you are living in a beautiful occasion right now. It may not seem like it, but who gets to live your specific life, your specific story? Only you. Okay, so recognize the value in that. All right, that's it. Thank you.